All right, I want to get into one more thing before we get into the news, and it's about it's about dealing with anger, and it's about how I deal with anger. Because I don't know about you, I get angry sometimes. Do you? You get angry sometimes? Yeah, me too. You first of all, I want to preface this by saying I'm not exactly good at controlling my anger, and so I'm not saying this is what I'm about to tell you is how the best way that you can deal with anger. It's just I want you to understand it's like this is how I deal with anger, and maybe someone else can uh, uh, get something out of this. So I just want to express that I'm not very good at it, but this is what I try to do when I start getting angry. First of all, I want to say it's like I can get heated about a lot of things. I can get mad. I can get heated about like chicken salad or hot sauce. How much hot sauce you use, or any ridiculous thing. And the printing press, penicillin. Who know horses. Who knows what could set me off? But it doesn't. It's not real anger. It's like I get worked up in the heat of a moment, but it's not real anger. What really makes me angry is injustice that happens around me. All right, that I know that I can affect. All right, if an injustice happens in Cleveland, Ohio, it's like, well, that's unfortunate. I wasn't there to stop it. I, but I mean, it doesn't, and it may get me angry or something like that. If you read a news story and you feel like there's an injustice in the world, and you're like, yeah, I'm kind of mad, but I'm not furious because I wasn't there to affect it. And so if I see an injustice happening in front of me, and I don't do anything about it, I feel like I'll kick myself for years over something like that. And so that's what really makes me mad. And so when the anger starts swelling up in me, it's usually because I saw some sort of injustice. I feel like I have to say something. I feel I need to shout it. I feel like I need to assert myself physically in order to correct this thing. And then when those feelings starts coming up in me, when the anger starts coming up in me, I have to stop and think for a second. It's like, okay, what is happening to me is physiological. This is my second point. You have to understand that what is happening to you is physiological. When you get angry, your adrenal glands just start going, ooh, and it's like meth. You just, ooh, your body gets all speeded out. Your heart rate starts pumping. Your muscles get tight and stronger. Your pupils dilate. You start taking in everything. And the unfortunate thing is your vision also kind of closes in. You got to kind of get tunnel vision when you're angry. So you have to understand that what is happening to you is a physiological effect, and so you need to start dealing with that now, because for not necessarily what has brought you to this point. All right, because acting on your intense roided up situation, with adrenaline squirting through your bloodstream, you have to understand is like, okay, there's something physiologically happening to me. It's best not to do anything rash right now. Okay. And so I have to say that to myself, like literally in my head, because I got tunnel vision. I'm focusing too much on this incident. I'm not really thinking about much of anything else. I'm fantasizing about what I need to do in order to correct the injustice that I just saw, or something like that. I need to stop and say a lot of this. I have tunnel vision right now. There's a physiological thing going on with me. I got the adrenaline. My body's in fight or flight mode, and maybe I'm wrong about this. And that's my next point. It's like you have to think, maybe I was wrong about what I saw or about what I understand. Maybe I misunderstood what's going on. Maybe I don't have all the information about what's happening. So maybe it's best to hold off, not react, find a way to address it, and when you've cooled off, because you probably misunderstand. Actually, absolutely that's possible, because you got tunnel vision right now. Maybe you're missing something. So that's my next point. All right. My next point is that it's better to be silent and thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. So if I see some quote unquote injustice happening in front of me, and I go, hey, you can't do that, and I kick the crap out of somebody in front of their wife and everybody, in front of the entire staff of Hardee's, I could kick their ass right there, and then. Yeah. Oh, he's blind, or or you find out, you were misinformed, or he didn't even say it. It came from somebody else. You know? And while you're kicking that dude's ass, that Hardee's employee got fired. But you missed all that because you're angry with your tunnel vision, so you beat the crap out of this blind guy. All right. All right. Better just to hold your, keep your ammo in the clip for a little while longer. See it, try to, did I see that right? Did I hear that right? So it's kind of a good idea to just wait and, maybe ask questions. Did he say what I thought he said? So it's just best not to lose your cool, and it's something my dad said to me. I was telling him about all these things I'm frustrated with and so forth. He said, be the brighter light. And I think that's why you have to take this into account. It's when you lose your temper, it sort of invalidates you no matter what. And so it's, even if you feel it's just, Jesus lost his temper. Jesus lost his temper in the temple. He overturned the tables and the money changers and so forth. And you can read the Bible on your own. I'm sure you can find that story. He made it like a whip. He got a couple cords together and made a whip.
Could you say that sometimes Jesus would become quite cross?
Jesus was quite cross, EK says. This is why he doesn't get a mic. Those of you wondering why, who are you talking to off camera? It doesn't matter, really. So, but Jesus lost his temper. All right. And it's still talked about today. It's like, was Jesus right? Was Jesus wrong by trying to get the money changers out of the temple? Still debated to this day because Jesus did something that wasn't Christ-like. It's so, I think that it is better to hold your stay your violent hand until you get all the information in. And especially if you realize that there's something happening to you, it's like, okay, I'm getting angry. I'm out of control. And no matter if I act with that anger, it's going to like invalidate me. It's like, oh, you made the first move, you threw the first punch and so forth. Doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. It matters that, you started something. You started an argument. You started, in a physical altercation, God forbid. So it's always better to hold off. Don't react with your anger. Don't become like Anakin Skywalker, basically. Because that's the whole metaphor of, don't give in to your anger. And my final point of all this with dealing with anger is screaming. Scream sometimes. If that stuff starts bottling up in you, if it starts like weighing on you, if you need to make a separate trip by yourself, get in your car by yourself, get on the road, get on the highway, roll up all your windows, and scream till it hurts your throat and your ears. Hopefully you don't get pulled over doing that, or if you have a ceremonial screaming pillow at home, you take the ceremonial screaming pillow, put it to your face, and just scream. That helps relieve a lot of the pressure, I find. Anyway, I also suggest learning how to play the drums. When I first started playing drums, that helped a lot with my anger.